The woman was stunned to discover that every time her newborn twins saw her, they'd cry non-stop, but the moment they were near their grandmother, they'd go quiet like nothing ever happened. But instead of being scared by this strange reaction, she simply smiled with a deeper meaning in her eyes, because she wasn't just any woman. She had come back from the dead. In her previous life, she had risked her life in the delivery room to give birth to the twins, only to receive devastating news that same day. Her husband had died in a car accident. Swallowing her grief, she raised the boys alone, working tirelessly to eventually get both into top universities. But on the day of their graduation party, her world shattered all over again. Her dead for 20 years husband showed up unannounced, hand in hand with another woman. In front of everyone, he declared that the woman beside him was the boy's real mother, and that she had been nothing but a fool raising someone else's children. She was frozen in place until she caught the cold look in her son's eyes. Only then did she realize it had all been planned. The two boys she had sacrificed everything for had known the truth all along, and had even helped their father transfer every last cent of her savings. She died of heartbreak that very night, her heart giving out under the weight of betrayal. But fate gave her a second chance. When she opened her eyes again, she was back 20 years earlier. In her past life, she had believed her in-laws' lies and let them handle the funeral, not knowing they had staged his death to help him disappear. This time, she wouldn't give them the chance. She pretended to grieve, telling her in-laws she would raise the children on her own. Thinking their plan had worked, they dropped their guard. But while they napped, she quietly approached the crib and made a shocking decision. 18 years flew by. Under her care, the two boys grew into brilliant young men, both accepted into top universities. She excitedly invited her in-laws to their graduation banquet. The next morning, they arrived as expected, pride shining in their eyes at the sight of their grandsons. But as they moved to take their seats, the grandfather stopped and casually suggested that once the boys went abroad, they'd move into her house. The woman smiled politely, saying she'd thought about that too, but the house had already been sold. Calmly, she pulled out the paperwork. Her in-laws exploded, furious that she had sold family property without telling them, but she simply explained it had been to cover the boys' overseas tuition. They demanded the sale money be turned over to them for safekeeping, but it was too late. The money had already been transferred 3 days earlier into a locked education fund, frozen. Only the boys could access it. The grandmother tried to argue, but the grandfather pulled her aside, whispering that the money was in the grandson's hands anyway, so eventually, it would be theirs. Satisfied, the grandmother gave a smug smile, but she had no idea the real shock was still to come. As the banquet began, the woman took the stage. Just as she opened her mouth, the doors burst open. In walked her supposedly dead husband and that scheming woman uninvited. Gasps filled the room. The crowd was stunned. The woman stayed calm, as if she had seen this coming. The other woman dramatically declared that the boys were her biological children. The sons were shocked. Furious, they turned to their grandmother for the truth. But the old woman, without blinking, spun a new lie, accusing their mother of staging the car accident and trying to kill their father. She claimed the fake death was a desperate move to protect the boys.